No.
Oh, you lucky. Okay, cool.
Okay.
You land. Do you land like in the chair sitting?
That's really funny.
Because if you rolled a 3 or 4, you're in the water with you.
Right, but you rolled good enough that you're like, boop, right there.
The only reason Quentin left while he was in the pool was because when he activates his astral form, there's radiant damage. So I figured that like a nuclear reactor, the water could tank the radiant damage.
Okay, that's kind of funny, actually. That's really smart.
So that's a radiant
Which
water.
is surprisingly better.
Yay! I take the drink
However,
though.
If you have mesothelioma,
You are a loved one. Has mesothelioma.
Mesothelioma.
Oh, don't worry. Here, Amethyst Strike. I can cure your disease.
Hey, nice, dude.
easy outside.
Let me just stab you healthy.
She looks at you.
Here.
Oh, that's perfect. With a face like you feel you've seen before, but you can't remember when.
Oh.
But she looks sad for your loss.
I think the worst part is I feel like I rolled really good on my saves too, and you still lose something.
Was a dangerous
As-
place.
I think you might have felt like one. Maybe.
I only rolled twice.
Oh, shit, then I...
As you land, she goes over to you. Still with us?
He's sitting on the foot of this chair right now. Gives a slow nod that picks up speed. I'd probably be doing a lot more hissing if I wasn't.
She just looks down. Starts a rebuttal, but just nods. Glad to see you.
I'll stand up, turn towards her. It's good to see you too, Leah. And don't think I didn't catch you using us there.
Roll an insight with advantage.
Here, let me put on cat's eye for this as well. Use one of these. Ka-chow. 13
Nice.
for...
Anyone, by the way, can add to that if they'd like.
I got nothing, mate. I'm out of Bardics.
No. Just as in roll.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming we don't get advantage though.
Correct.
Pew. Okay, so about that
Which
divine
one?
inspiration. So about that divine
The
inspiration.
wildest nat 119. if I
There you
look
go.
at.
Then on the other end of the scale, 34.
44. Thank you, divine inspiration. You're a real one. Thanks for the 6 temp HP.
Jericho, as you stand up, she looks at you knowingly in a way that makes her seem vulnerable for the first time in a long time. Clint, she seems to be acknowledging him and likely you as something else she hasn't probably had in a long comrades who know the same struggle.
I think Quinn would do that, Scott, actually. Funny.
Draco doesn't...
You made it
wait.
too. She just looks over to Clint. You made it too.
Yeah, I think a bit hard to miss us flying down. Thanks for the concern. I
She
gotta
just
take
nods. I told you you were ready.
You took something from both of us, we think.
And it will take more if you continue to linger. Heed my words now if you ever have or ever will. The only things that matter are what is and what can be done about it.
Gives her a single nod. What can be?
She looks around and pulls up her mask to reveal her milky eyes. Linger too much and it will take far more than you're willing.
I think.
Oh, go ahead.
I think I'd fight the stars for taking your eyes alone.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know about the spaceship.
Don't make promises you're not willing to keep.
I don't usually do that.
Never have. She says in a way, trying to remind you in case you forgot. Clint, though, let me touch a little bit more on that 44.
Okay.
You now look at her and see the tattoos that cover the upper part of her chest and forearms, and how they're all scrawlings of words that seemed benign before, but make so much more sense as someone who was grabbing onto anything she could to not forget someone she loved.
Quint will message her telepathically. Don't want to bring the dirty laundry to the forefront. The words written on you. How many of them do you remember the meaning of? Please.
Some.
Damn. I was hoping you're gonna say all.
Take heart and know that they once meant something to you, even if you can't remember what.
There will be times like these where I'll be happy that I didn't take my belligerence. And I'll end the telepathy there. Back in the normal world. Oh, we're on time. On speed. Look over at Jareth to see. I assume he's probably aged like 30 years in that span of time.
Surprisingly, only a couple. His
Oh.
dark brown mane of hair that flows long does have some grays in it now. But he seems to be running his finger through the plant here.
Oh. Quinn sees that. And before anyone can make like a further report, he'll go over and nudge Bradford. Got anything? Spirits, good food. Final meal.
Final?
Effect or just something nice?
The nicest thing you can muster. And then Quinn will look over at Castor on the stage. Yeah. Final.
This is a party.
His-
It probably has some kind of kitchen, right?
Yeah, absolutely. His eyes flick in betrayal over to Leona for a brief second before looking at you. What are you trying to say?
Look over at Jareth. Back to Caster. He's aging rapidly. He was one of Solomon's captives. He'll throw a thumb over his shoulder at Jericho.
You see him just lean over as if he's trying to make his diaphragm do more work at his knees and just take a deep breath. Good gosh, man, you should have said not you.
Fair enough.
He just takes a breath. Oh, gosh,
Yeah.
my heart.
At this point, you should learn that Clint won't really telegraph his near-suicidal activities like that. To be fair.
It's your guys' fault for thinking I ever have moments of clarity and lucidity where I don't got it.
Yeah, sure, that Clint. Like, see?
Nah, if I'm going out like that, I'm going out a lot louder.
Billy Caster being concerned for people.
I entirely understand this, Crash. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Here's to that.
Here's to that. Pull over a warrior handshake over to Dayron. It's about to see you
He
here.
grabs it. I owed a debt.
Looks over at Leona. Uh-huh.
Not to her.
Looks back. Hey.
He points a finger, almost accusatorily, at Jericho.
We're just like, his attention snaps to Daron. He looks over his shoulder in the back at Daron.
Did I not say next time I saw you, we would have a duel?
I suppose you did. But right now, you're still a liar.
Oh boy.
Or a coward.
Oof.
I guess some things need to be rectified. And if you turned into a bloodsucker, it would hardly be a fair fight. After you would be so diminished.
Oh boy.
How dare you? You know, smack talk isn't my strong suit.
Is it?
You saw how I handled Antonius.
Oh yeah.
He did. He did have a one-liner while we were down there, and then the guy came right back. Holy shit, that was embarrassing.
I'm not gonna roll insight. Quint is assuming Quint is projecting on people saying stupid one-liners.
Yeah, imagine saying a stupid
know-
one-liner.
You know, smack talk is my weak point, but humbling underclassmen is my strong point. Thank you.
Believe
Oh, whoa, chill out, okay? It's still nursing some wounds over here.
I know, I can smell him. He lied.
Now it does feel like
Feel
like friendly fire, Watchman.
Dayron looks back at you. Then would you say you're in fighting order?
At current, I'm missing one key point.
Full HP?
So, full HP, yeah, because
Yeah.
but before I switch over to this sheet, he had health regeneration, so yeah.
True, true.
I'm in fighting order. This isn't really much of a battlefield, though.
Then let's
Yeah.
find a spot when we land.
Flicker towards Jareth.
He sees your eyes go over that way. It doesn't have to be pressing.
Some things are more important than putting you in the ground. On the ground. Sorry.
Yes, like reality.
Just real quick, what damage die is a bastard sword?
Yeah, one.
It's a D10.
D10, gotcha. Because I'm gonna need that for this.
I just saw what you put dice on Melanella. Getting skin cancer in an area where there's no sun is wild.
How'd you manage that?
How did you manage this?
To be fair, he summons and kind of becomes the sun.
Yeah.
Imagine holding the sun in your hand and it doesn't kill you just from the heat.
I conjure
In fact-
memes of energy. I give myself cancer every time I use this cantrip.
In fact, you guys might want to get checked out once we get back to base, because we were exposed to that red sun for a long time.
Bro,
Nah, it's
like,
fine.
if we went to fucking Erica and been like, hey, can you check us for cancer? She would find a way to turn the cancer into like an extra arm or something. I'm afraid of
Did you
that.
find a way to give you cancer as a joke?
That's a bit.
There's Clint. I forget his name. That's like Captain Pollution or something. I don't.
Yeah, probably something like that.
I parried the sun rays. It's okay.
We did a hero's. Okay. Where are we going, and how long does that take?
That's a great question.
Because it depends on how fast this thing goes, right?
Where are you going?
If we have
To the
time get
East
a long
Coast.
rest, he can just do Hero's Feast of Jareth's discretion, and then boom, best meal of his fucking life.
I don't disagree with the concept. I just don't know how much time we have to catch a rest.
Yeah.
We only need 4 hours, so
Mhm.
still got this, baby. Imagine if I lost that. Imagine if I lost that.
Like, I'm so fucking
Hey, you ready to
tired.
go? No, I'm just so tired.
I can't even sleep in
Vince-
armor.
You know what? I just realized.
It's so
That would be
heavy.
such a good reason for Quinn to learn Magnificent Mansion, because he no longer has the ability to sleep in a sealed system.
I think Jericho's going to, suddenly winded, ease back onto this chair here. And then a very loud grumble is made from his stomach. Bro has not eaten food in
Years.
Yeah, well, it hasn't been years. He still
How
ate
long
food
have we known him
sometimes while
that?
he was a damp here.
True, actually, yeah.
But ever since he's dark, at the very least, he's not eaten anything.
So that's the order of what, 2-3 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, better part of a month.
Bro is kachexic.
I don't know what that means, but I feel like it's bad.
Yes.
He's a communist.
Extreme weight loss. Due to malnourishment.
Kachexic Republic.
That's what I thought. I'm not gonna lie, that's what I thought it was in relation to.
Yeah, of course, the Garth would find a way to bring up the Czech Republic.
I hate it here.
Keeps doing it to
Let the
himself, and he
Baltics
doesn't
go.
even mean to.
I think it's called Chikex.
Mm.
Or
Just look up malnourishment.
I know what malnourishment is, though. Oh, thank you. Chicks, yeah.
Chexic.
it's a weird we rarely, but sometimes.
Chex Mix.
It's actually one guy who's been with us like a month and a half now. Dude was a total asshole. Like, would hold his fingers up and like lick between them to the girls.
What the fuck?
Yeah, would like reach to grab people when he was untrained. But now he's like lost 40 pounds and is barely doing anything. And it's, you know, he was a dick, but it's kind of sad to see like that fight, you know?
A person literally is just withering away.
Anyways,
If I remember to ask you after, I'd like a breakdown of the terminology in that word, though.
I imagine it's Latin. But anyways, so Poye looks back to you. Hey, brother, you gonna need to be getting up. Ain't no time for sitting. You gonna want to hear this.
Oh boy.
Listening.
Poye looks at you and gets serious for a second. Hey, brother has some respect.
I'm listening. He'll sit
Also
forward
rapidly
at the very least.
starving, so use exhaustion.
What is it, boy?
He, through squinted eyes, looks from Jericho over to you. Mr. Jarrett's got something to say. I think you're gonna want to hear it.
Lock it up.
Stand up or trudge over.
He looks back. And begins speaking in Sycusian.
Based.
He would say, apologize. This tongue is far more familiar.
Whatever is most comfortable for you, sir. You respond to Sycusian?
Jericho totally understands everything he's saying, but responds in common, and Jareth totally understands everything he's saying.
Because you have the
Ascendant tongue, yeah. Or what is it?
Monk universal language.
Wasn't anything that needed a great audience or anything for. I was just curious as to what's become of the world.
Let us start from the beginning then, sir. What was your world like? I'd love to hear about it.
My name is Jareth Dufresne, from the 32nd House of Augustine.
Can Quint check his, from his time in Andorra, try to, go through, the logs, his, history logs, and, 32nd, which one was the 32nd house?
Oh, you might actually know that. Yeah, that would be written down. It'd be the House of the Eagle.
And Quint will respond to that. The House of the Eagle.
Once was before we.
Before.
Time is something I fully understand. After the fall, armies tried to retake the great seat, but were never able to succeed. So those of us with our shattered and bruised ego found new home, new places. Had to try to let go of what was. My once dear friend and I settled in a place off the southern mountain. A place where even amongst all the darkness of the world, the lilies would grow.
But turns and looks at Jericho.
His hand idly goes to the lilies of the valley at his belt.
Yeah, your passive perception is 25, right?
Yeah.
You hear Poye mouthing, mocking your words from earlier. Yeah, this here.
A beat passes. Many nut taps, Poye.
He holds it in, crosses his arms, but doesn't give you the satisfaction.
Stop groaning in pain. Show some respect.
It was a place that we could call home. Far from perfect, but it's alright. We became farmer, shepherd. The ground was fertile, but it was never. Takes a second. Anything you make, something will always want to take. But when darkness came to our city, we repelled it.
Impressive.
It took hold, and my closest friend, that desire for power, that desire changed him to the point we came to blows, and I had to banish him from our city.
Solomon.
He nods. Perhaps I was too lenient. The darkness took hold in him more than I realized. And while we were fending off our city, it was only a knife in the back I found. If it's not too much to ask, do any of you know what happened to the city amongst the lilies?
But will take a step aside, so gesture with one hand at Jericho, like, after you.
It no longer exists. Ruled by a tyrant. Your friend Solomon. The people rose up. Tired of giving tribute to that which darkness firmly held. By the end of it, nothing remained.
He looks off in the distance for a long second. Suppose it would be too much to expect anything else.
If it is some small comfort, I returned there years later. My feet still knew the way, even if my eyes didn't. That's where I met Solomon again, before he became a baron. Just him, ruling over an empty town, where the only life were the lilies of the valley, still growing strong. He'll pull the lilies of the valley from his belt, step forward and present them to him.
He grabs them in a remarkably rough and calloused hand, but with a gentle grip. I heard you said return.
After my father rose up against Solomon, the Black Watch took me in. The first, perhaps last, real line of defense between that which is good and that which is dark. Circumstances forced me to go on hiatus, as it were. And I found myself back at Lilyvale. Home. I've not been back since leaving that second time.
He looks remarkably conflicted at the information you've given. I see.
Brother, with the tyrant now at rest, darkness pushed back away from Lilyvale, and the flowers still growing strong. I give you my word, the city among the lilies will flourish again, like its namesake does.
He looks at you, looks around. Give your word. Are you of the sworn?
I am of the Prismatic Covenant. I've not sworn myself to an order. And believe me when I say that the folly in that has been brought to my attention already. I would swear myself, if given the opportunity.
He looks at the blade in your hand. And what is your goal? What purpose have you in this life?
To fight the darkness. To save all of that which is good, and seek solace in the light.
He
To make
thinks
to see that
for a second.
tyranny never takes root again.
Think that will do.
Say again.
He says yes. Think that will do. Kneel.
What? Jericho digest that for a moment before glancing over his shoulder towards Augustus. He will take a knee.
What is your name?
Jericho of Lilyvale.
Did I give you a new? He grabs the blade and sets it on your shoulder. Jericho Eagle Sworn, Knight of the Valley, and Protector of the Lilies, wielder of the Tyrant's Scorn. It has been updated.
Thank you very much.
Old roots will grow anew. Never forget that. He nods as he turns back, puts his hand on the plant once more.
Jericho Eagle Sworn will stand back up. You've done me a great honor, Dareth.
He
Shall-
pauses for a second as he rests his arms behind his back, hands folded on one another. It is not a lord who does honor, whose knights honor him, but a lord who honors his knight. The honor is mine. You see this dark patches of gray in his hair now.
Then let us do our duty. And fulfill your final wish.
As you begin to make your way, what do you do? How do you spend your time?
How long of a trip is it? Here to the East Coast. Like particularly. Oh, actually, I figured that was correct, actually. 50 miles, but I have no clue how fast this thing goes.
Let's see. This line.
Goes
42.
50 miles an hour. So
44, 47. It'd probably be about 4 hours.
Enough for a long rest, baby.
Fittingly, yeah.
yeah. Long rest the minute we're there. Crispies.
Dinner review.
Yeah, good point. I suppose Bradford would then, after the knighting thing, go to the Sir himself. Definitely remember the name. Jareth?